Hello and welcome to the first hour review series here on Totally Useless Playthroughs on YouTube. This is going to be a quick summary as to how the 1 hour review series is going to work. The gameplay sequences will be played in their entirety. They're not going to be edited at all. With the exception of load screens, they're going to be edited out to increase the actual gameplay you get to see. There won't be any voiceover during gameplay, so you get maximum game experience. And the first hour of the game will be reviewed at the end of the video. This being the Totally Useless Playthroughs channel means we have to use the Totally Useless scoring system, the TUS, a modified to 6 scale. It may look like there are 7 criteria, but there are in fact 6. And they are graphics, how does the game look? Gameplay, how does it play? Gimmicks, how did the developers sell the game to us? Goodliness, the good things about the game, to avoid being overly negative. Glitches, all games have glitches, so we'll talk about those here. The golden mean, the most fundamental point of the game. And finally, gratification. How good was the game? Did we enjoy it? Is it a game we'll come back to? And we're going to score these on 0 to 3 each, so a total score of 21. And I look forward to scoring our upcoming game using this scale. So I will see you guys in about an hour. This week we're playing Broken Sword 3, The Sleeping Dragon. This was first released in 2003 on the PlayStation 2, the original Xbox and Windows PC. The game was written and directed by Charles Cecil of Revolution Software, and the game was published by THQ in Europe. It's not all great news to start with. The game was, according to Cecil himself, a terrible financial loss, but only selling a few 100,000 units worldwide. The game did have phenomenal reviews at the time, and I was one of these people who was lucky enough just to sort of buy the game because I played the original. This game is different to the original games. They were point and click games set in a wonderfully animated 2D world. Broken Sword 3 moves into the world of 3D, retaining that wonderful animated charm, but the game does move forward with the change in hardware, from the PlayStation 1, CDs, and taking full advantage of DVDs used by the PlayStation 2 and other machinery at the time, I suppose. Right, so that's enough of the preamble. I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Preceptor.
My lord, it has begun. The power is already building. Are you ready for your task?
We shall not fail you, my lord.
The price of failure is Armageddon. God go with you.
Girlfriend, George?
No, not really.
Well, what does that mean?
Oh, there was a girl in Paris, but it didn't work out.
Oh, way to go, mate. I've heard about those French babes. I think she'd be interested in a good-looking Aussie bushman, eh?
Only if it helped her career.
Weather like this, the old crate flies herself.
How about weather like that?
Lucky we got two. Just another couple of seconds and we'll be laughing. You better strap yourself in, George.
Meanwhile, as Paris wakes to yet another clear, hot day, in the south, the bizarre weather continues. Marseille, 20 days of rain. Bordeaux, 30. And across the world, from Beijing to New York, there are reports of earth tremors, floods, typhoons.
Who is it?
Vous m'oubliez? It's Nicole Collard.
You're early.
You said it was urgent?
We don't have much time. The power sources are building to a peak. It's all in the manuscript. Look, I decoded it. No one's ever done that. They paid me serious money. But the Earth, we're all in danger. Now they want to kill me because I know too much.
Somehow, we'd landed in the jungle, and I was alive. Then, I smelled smoke. I was gonna have to get out, and fast. I unfastened the seatbelt carefully. Whoa, Harry! What's going on? Harry? Man, that was close. We weren't safe at all. We were balanced on the edge of a cliff. And now I was trapped in the rear half of the plane. A buckle and strap held the crate tightly to a metal frame. The buckle was quick release. I soon had the crate freed up. You never know when a beer's gonna come in handy. The impact from the landing had twisted the door frame. Damn! Harry! Harry, wake up! Slapping him wasn't gonna work. Searching Harry turned up a handy bottle opener. I wasn't strong enough to push it out. Here goes. Yes! It was Harry Gilligan, the pilot. out cold. Slapping him wasn't gonna work.
Cheers, mate. Came to a while back. Thought I'd grab 40 winks. Don't get much chance in my line.
What were you doing flying us into that storm? You nearly got us killed.
Calm down, will you? The storm came from nowhere. I've never seen anything like it. Weird.
So how far is it to the landing strip?
Well, not far. We were right on top of it when the storm hit.
You okay, Harry?
Sure, mate.
The plane's completely trashed.
No big deal.
Well, how can you be so calm about it?
I won it in a card game.
Terrific.
Got a free tank of fuel, too, which was lucky.
Why?
Well, we wouldn't have got here without it.
Do you drink this stuff all the time?
Tastes like angel sweat.
I borrowed your bottle opener.
No sweat.
Whoa! Maybe not. I was going to need more weight at the back of the plane. But what?
Are you trying to kill us?
There was no way of opening the window. You okay, Harry?
Sure, mate.
Harry, we need more ballast at the back of the plane.
Okay, George, if you think it'll help.
Harry, just don't move!
You bet.
No, not yet! Harry, stay there!
Why?
Whoa! Phew, that was close.
Well, I don't know. Could have been worse.
Yeah?
I might still have been in it.
Trying to cheer me up, Harry?
Ha! You know, you're not bad for a Yank.
That makes me feel a whole lot better.
We make a great team. Oh, I could help you out. Here, with your work. Be your driver. Sort out the locals.
Harry, like I told you, I'm only here to meet someone, then I'm out of here.
Oh, yeah, maybe I know the fella.
I doubt it. Guy called Cholmondeley.
Never heard of him.
Exactly.
What's he do?
He's a scientist.
Well, what kind of a scientist?
He lives in the jungle, says he's built a machine that can create limitless energy. I'm a patent lawyer. He wants me to write the patent. Make us all rich, okay? Capiche?
Oh, I see. A mad scientist.
Oh.
Quit messing around, mate.
Guess next time I'll avoid the scenic route.
Yeah, well, when you've had your bit of fun, I'll see you at the top.
I don't know. I don't know. For God's sake, I've told you everything I know.
For which I am deeply grateful. Nevertheless, it was always my intention to kill you. Goodbye, Mr. Cholmondeley.
How many times? It's not Cholmondeley, it's...
It was a Sunday morning. I was 3 months behind on the rent, and my editor had given me another bum assignment, an interview with some hacker about the end of the world. Where had it all gone wrong? Was I never going to get that lucky break? What had happened to my glittering career in journalism? And then, everything changed. It was quiet, but that didn't mean the place was empty. I needed to get into the apartment to find out what was going on. Through the grime, I could see a shape that looked a lot like a body. It was the hacker's window, all right. The window was securely locked. Damn! The gap was just too tight to get the card in. It was the hacker's window, all right. I knew that climbing balconies was crazy, but the story had me hooked and I wasn't about to let it go. It was pretty dark, but I could just make out the shape of a bed. There was a gap, but the latch meant it was still closed. It's true, a press card can get you in anywhere. Just one little wiggle between the window and the lock, and the latch lifted. Here goes. Whoever did the dusting here never got round to the TV. The wardrobe was stuffed with unwashed clothes. Disgusting. Cold Singapore noodle with tea bag. Gross. Hear anything. The door led to the rest of the apartment. The guy was dead, all right. The picture was a pleasant touch. Another Steve Jobs original. I couldn't hear anything. If the killer was still around, he wasn't in there. The wash basin was surprisingly clean. I'd always dreamed there were men out there capable of cleaning the toilet, but he wasn't one of them. Some things I just didn't need to examine.
away from those doors. Over here, where I can see you.
Okay. Whatever you say.
I've been waiting a long time for the chance to do this.
So, we've met before?
Oh, yes.
Really? You obviously didn't make an impression the first time.
You won't be so clever when I've killed you. Time's up! Get away from those doors. Over here, where I can see you.
Okay. Whatever you say.
I've been waiting a long time for the chance to do this.
So, we've met before?
Oh, yes.
Really? You obviously didn't make an impression the first time.
You won't be so clever when I've killed you. Time's up. You're not going to stop us this time.
I never forget a face. So why had I forgotten hers?
Bye-bye, Collard. Get away from those doors. Over here, where I can see you.
Okay. Whatever you say.
I've been waiting a long time for the chance to do this.
So, we've met before?
Oh, yes.
Really? You obviously didn't make an impression the first time.
You won't be so clever when I've killed you. Time's up. You're not going to stop us this time.
I never forget a face. So why had I forgotten hers?
Ow! Oof! Damn! Come back, you salope!
Where did she disappear to? Maybe there was a clue on the answer machine.
You have 3 new messages.
Vernon, darling, it's Maman here. I'm at my wit's end. I've given your trousers 3 washes at 100 degrees and that stain still won't come out. It's more like cement than mayonnaise. Anyway, the ironing's done. Oh, I hate these machines. Au revoir, à dimanche.
This is Nicole Collard here from La Liberté. Just to say I'll be round at 8 as promised. Goodbye.
Vernon, it's Beatrice. Good luck with the reporter. I'll be waiting for you in the gardens afterwards. Love you, Snooky.
Snooky? Perhaps I should make a call. Better check in with my paper.
News desk?
Candice, is the old man in?
Yes, but he's in a meeting.
Tell him that you'll need to get someone to cover for me this afternoon.
Oh, so Techno Nerd turned out to be a bit of a dish, did he?
Not exactly. Let's just say the morning was full of surprises.
I'm intrigued. Anything you want to file?
Still on the case. But you'll be the first to know. By the way, have you got anything on this programmer?
Just that he's one of the best in his field.
Thanks. Bye now. Perhaps I should make a call. I wondered if Andre might have any ideas.
Andre Lobineau?
Hi, Andre.
My dear Nico, how are you?
Having one of my interesting days? I was about to interview a guy when somebody shot him.
My God! Are you hurt?
I'm okay, but the killer escaped before I could stop her.
Her? A woman?
That's right. And it's not the only strange thing. I think this is more than just your ordinary homicide.
Oh dear. Are you off on one of your little adventures again, Nico?
Hey, what do you mean?
I suppose at least that idiot Stobar isn't involved this time.
Andre, I was nearly killed.
Okay.
Trouble is, I can't find any leads to follow up.
The killer must have left a trail of some kind. Search the whole area for clues.
I'll see what I can turn up. Andre, I'm going to get back to the investigation.
Okay, Nico. Oh, and what I said earlier, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Andre. I ask for it sometimes. But you know, George, he was a lot of things. But he was never an idiot.
If you need my help, be sure to call me.
The fridge door had just saved my life. I was lucky the pan had deflected one of those bullets. I pulled back the rug. One of the floorboards was loose. The floorboard lifted up easily. In the space below, there was a small safe. I could have hit buttons at random, but getting the combination that way would have taken weeks. I could have hit buttons at random, but getting the combination that way would have taken weeks. Under the floorboard was a small safe with an electronic lock. The computer had been wrecked. Someone had removed the hard drive in a hurry. The computer was badly damaged. He must have been dead before he hit the ground, which ruled out CPR, thank God. I didn't fancy going mouth to mouth with that acne and those teeth. I knew I had to search the body. It was still warm. All I could find was his business card. Vernon Blier, software consultant. This was the crazy geek I'd been due to meet, all right. Maybe he wasn't so crazy after all. Who needs ornaments when you've got a TV? It was a shell casing from the gun the killer used. I held on to it. I needed any clue I could find. Someone had thrown away a bank statement. The trash can contained no clues. The trash can contained no clues. According to the bank statement, Vernon Blier was pretty short of money. Maybe that's why he'd planned on selling his story. It was the card I'd found on the dead guy. His phone number was 0123748019. No way was I doing that. That wasn't appropriate. The picture was a pleasant touch. Another Steve Jobs original. The door was securely locked. Perhaps I should make a call.
You have no new messages. Old messages.
Vernon, darling, it's Maman here. I'm at my wit's end. I've given your trousers 3 washes at 100 degrees, and that stain still won't come out. It's more like cement than mayonnaise. Anyway, the ironing's done. Oh, I hate these machines. Au revoir, à dimanche.
This is Nicole Colladier from La Liberté. Just to say I'll be round at 8 as promised. Goodbye.
Vernon, it's Beatrice. Good luck with the reporter. I'll be waiting for you in the gardens afterwards. Love you, Snooky.
According to the bank statement, Vernon Blier was pretty short of money. Maybe that's why he'd planned on selling his story. That wouldn't work here. It was the card I'd found on the dead guy. His phone number was 0123748019. When in doubt, search the trash. But there was nothing of interest. It was just an old sheet of newspaper. But you never know what might come in handy. What have we here? It was a wig, an expensive one too, but more important, it was an exact copy of my own style. The gate was locked. The wooden gate looked very sturdy. Bonjour.
Yes?
I wonder if you can help me.
I doubt it. In any way, I'm on duty.
It's pretty quiet this morning.
It's Sunday. What do you expect?
Did you see a young woman run past earlier?
No.
Are you sure? She shot at me with a pistol.
What kind of pistol?
How should I know?
Bah! Then why should I help you?
Do you happen to know a young computer programmer called Vernon?
Does he have a car?
Not that I'm aware of.
Then it is highly unlikely that I have met him.
Take a look at this wig.
Very interesting. As wigs go.
I found it.
Well, aren't you the clever one?
It belonged to the killer. The woman who wore this has just killed someone.
Fascinating. The man who just parked here is going to get a ticket.
Please, madame, I'm being serious. Take a look at this.
Interesting. 12 millimeter, and recently fired.
That's right. But how do you know about
firearms? Let us just say I have not always been a traffic warden.
What else can you tell me about it?
From the head stamp, manufactured in Prague. And the gun itself? The new Magnum, if I'm not wrong.
You can tell all that from the shell?
You just have to know what to look for.
It came from the gun of the woman who tried to kill me.
This is not a Saturday night special. You are dealing, I think, with professional killers.
Can you help me?
Fire away. Ah, my little joke.
Did you see a dark-haired woman running by here earlier?
Was she the one who fired those shots?
Yes, that's right.
Sorry, I didn't see her. I wish I had. Bah! What does this prove? Any fool can throw together a fake ID.
True, but only a real fool would impersonate a journalist at my paper. Thanks for your help. Goodbye. Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour.
Are you Beatrice?
How do you know my name?
I'm Nicole Collard.
Vernon was going to meet you.
That's right.
He was supposed to come here afterwards. Where is he?
I'm sorry. Vernon is... He won't be coming.
What's happened?
Did you see a woman run past a little earlier?
No. What's happened to Vernon?
Talking to a goth about death felt like being in a vampire movie. Beatrice, I'm afraid I have some bad news.
It's Vernon, isn't it?
He's dead.
What?
I'm sorry.
No! You're lying! I don't believe you!
I considered leaving the area and decided to go back to my apartment. Perhaps I should make a call. Looking after houseplants wasn't my forte. The clown's red nose was a clue that George and I once found. It made me think of him when I touched it. I considered leaving the apartment and decided to visit Vernon's place. Bonjour, madame.
Bonjour. I tell you, I've had enough of this job. Day in, day out, the same old drudgery, huh?
Why don't you give it up then?
Give it up? Who do you think you are telling me to give up my job?
I thought
you were too good for the likes of me, I expect?
No, not at all. I didn't mean...
I was a dancer once, you know. At Le Moulin Rouge. So stick that on your velo and ride it.
That's wonderful.
Of course. Alphonse, he wouldn't have any of it. I'll not have you flushing your knickers out of Paris, he said. Get a proper job.
So I did. A real liberated man.
He was an angel. I won't hear a word against him.
This wig belongs to someone I'm looking for.
Nice.
At Le Moulin Rouge, we always had such beautiful wigs.
Have you seen anyone wearing this wig?
No. Was she a dancer?
Something much worse.
Pah! A singer, then.
Do you know a young man called Vernon?
I'm sure I don't know what you're suggesting. I am a married woman. Of course, between you and me, in my dancing days, it was a different matter.
Did you see a dark-haired woman a short time ago?
No. Perhaps that dear traffic warden might help. She always knows what's going on. Be careful, though.
Why? Is she a singer?
No. What on earth makes you think that? It happens to all of us. No one escapes.
What do you mean?
Look at the picture. Your looks have gone already.
Just what a girl likes to hear. Thanks for your help. Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Hi.
Well, hi there, beautiful. You are looking for something?
I might be.
You have come to the right place.
Right place, right guy, huh?
That's how it looks to me, too.
Were you around a little earlier?
Oh, I've been around a while.
Oh, that's good. I'm a reporter and I need to ask you a few questions. Did you see a woman run past a little earlier?
Don't think so. Women usually slow down on this corner.
They probably can't believe what they're hearing.
What?
I said I can quite believe it.
You could try a Twitcher.
Who's he?
She. The traffic warden. Doesn't miss a thing. Hey, you should get yourself a new photographer, honey.
Oh, do you think so?
Drop by my studio sometime.
Take a look at this wig.
Yeah, nice, but not really my style.
The woman who wore this has just killed someone.
I don't blame her. I'd want to kill someone if I had to wear that wig.
Do you happen to know a guy called Vernon?
The coder?
Yes.
Yeah, he's cool. Hangs out in the park with his girlfriend.
I'm afraid he's been killed. Shot.
Oh man, that's too bad. Still, a neighborhood like this, only the brave survive, huh?
Have you seen a shell casing before?
Sure.
It's from a real gun.
Big deal.
It was a big deal. For somebody. So where's your posse?
What?
Big guy like you? Gotta have a posse, surely.
Oh, yeah, sure. I got two.
Wow.
How about you? You got a posse?
Oh, yeah. But I like to keep it secret.
Gotcha.
I'd love to hang out with you, but I have work to do.
Easy come, easy go. See you around, baby.
I considered leaving the area, but decided to remain here. Bonjour.
Yes?
About this wig. It belonged to the killer.
So, you really are connected with the shooting.
That's right. And I need all the help I can get. Thanks for your help. Goodbye. I couldn't open the door. label inside had been cut out. The killer had covered her tracks. Almost. There were a few strands of blonde hair inside. So the woman I'm after really has blonde hair, not black. Bonjour, madame.
Pah! You again, huh? Can't you see I'm busy?
Have you seen a young blonde woman by any chance?
I certainly have. Skinny-looking thing, like you.
Thanks. Which way did she go?
She got into a sports car and drove off.
Do you happen to know the make of car?
What do you take me for? Some kind of mechanic? You'll have to ask someone else.
Just one thing. Your husband, Alphonse, is he around?
No.
I thought perhaps he might have seen something.
It's unlikely.
Why?
He left me 20 years ago.
Ran away. With a singer?
That's amazing. How did you know?
Lucky guess. Thanks for your help. Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Hi.
Well, hi there, beautiful.
Nice board.
It's not just a board, it's what you do with it.
So I hear. The woman I'm looking for is a blonde.
Me too.
You're a funny guy.
Hey, I am to please. But seriously, didn't you say you are looking for a woman with dark hair?
Did I? You've got me all confused now.
I know, I have that effect on women. I haven't seen any women running around. Most babes tend to stop when they see how I can handle a board.
Don't suppose you saw a sports car in the area earlier?
The red E-type Jag, you mean?
Yes. Why did you notice it?
I used to run one a little like it.
Did you happen to get the registration number?
Hey, there's only one set of numbers I like, and I'm not talking shoe size, huh?
Thanks. Anyway.
I hope you catch the killer.
I will. Thanks for your help. Goodbye. Bonjour.
Yes.
Did you see a blonde woman running by here earlier?
Yes. Around your size, good build, muscle tone, shoe size 3, maybe 4, and I think not French.
That's amazing.
No, not amazing. Just good training.
Training?
I'm sorry. I'm not at liberty to tell you anything more.
Did you see the E-type Jag that was in the area earlier?
Yes, I did.
I believe it belonged to the killer.
And they say crime doesn't pay.
What can you tell me about it?
It was parked illegally. I gave it a ticket.
Great. Do you have the registration number?
Here it is. 451 CAC 75.
Merci. Can you tell me anything else about the car?
You know, there was some kind of mask on the passenger seat.
Mask? You mean like a child's mask?
No, an old mask. The kind they wear in a theater?
Merci, madame. You've been a great help.
It is but a courtesy from one professional to another.
Of course. Sounds like the police are on their way.
I would appreciate it if you kept our little conversation to yourself. You understand?
Of course. I wouldn't want to blow your cover.
Exactly.
By the way, just who do you work for?
Can I trust you?
Of course.
One day soon, the aliens will land. We are preparing to fight them. You may join us if you wish.
That's very kind of you. But I have to go now. Au revoir. What's going on?
There has been a murder. We are questioning everyone in the area. What is your name?
Nicole Collard.
It's her, all right. Please come with us.
And this is...
Come on, speak up.
Nicole Collard.
Aha! The woman he had arranged to meet.
She's a tough one, I think, sir. Like me to loosen her tongue a little?
Not quite yet. Your identity card, please.
My press card.
A journalist. Typical.
You have a problem with journalists?
Only the spineless, lying, interfering variety.
Looks like I'm in trouble then.
She's the murderer, monsieur! Lock her up before she kills us all!
Control yourself, madame. I'm conducting an investigation here.
And we're getting on so well.
How did you know the dead man?
He contacted me through my paper. He wanted to meet.
Why?
Some nonsense about the end of the world.
Why did you kill him?
I didn't.
But you admit you were here.
He was already dead when I arrived. I broke in through the bedroom window. The killer was still here.
And?
We fought through there, in the kitchen. Then she ran off down the fire escape and I lost her.
There are certainly signs of a struggle.
Inspector.
Oui?
How did you know Vernon was due to meet me?
Your message on the answer phone.
Here's the wig the killer wore.
I'll take that as evidence. Where did you find it?
Over the wall at the back of the apartment.
Oh, I see. How terrible. You've been framed.
Correct, Inspector.
She's the killer! I saw her with my own eyes!
The woman I fought was really a blonde.
The neighbor said she had dark hair.
I've already given you the wig.
For what it's worth.
Have you any idea why he was killed?
None at all.
Perhaps it was to stop him talking to me.
Not everybody rates journalists so highly, mademoiselle.
I've got the number of the killer's car.
My, you are being helpful. Are you quite sure you're a journalist?
Do you want the number or not?
Very well.
451 CAC 75.
Thanks.
Am I free to go?
Don't let her get away!
The evidence is clear enough. I'm placing you under arrest, Mademoiselle Collard. Officer, take her away.
With pleasure, sir.
So that was our first hour of Broken Sword 3, The Sleeping Dragon. And I suppose we should crack on with that review. Just a quick reminder, we're going to be talking about the graphics, the gameplay, the gimmicks, the goodliness, the glitches, the golden mean and gratification. Everything scored on 0 to 3 with out of a total of 21. So let's start at the beginning. Graphics. The game is a PlayStation 2 era game, 2003. So obviously we're not expecting photorealism. So these are all relevant to the period from which the game comes from. So graphics, pros and cons. So pros, I thought the game, the looks were well designed, the characters and the environment, it all looked great, I thought. The use of light was really good most of the time. I had one issue I noticed, but I'll talk about that in a second. And I thought the use of colours set the mood really well. Where things were quite bright and quite airy, everything generally was quite light and quite airy. But where things were quite dark and moody, that was kind of right, because obviously we had Vernon get murdered in his dark and moody apartment, and when we got hauled in front of the inspector, it was back in that dark and moody environment. I thought they used that quite well. Cons for the graphics is that use of light. I thought that the game at times was just too dark. Vernon's apartment, especially in some sort of areas of it, was just too dark. You couldn't really see any detail in there. And I appreciate that it was a murder scene, but if we can't see, the character can't see, surely, right? If we're supposed to be absorbed into it. But never mind, it was too dark, we can move on. So on a scale of a score of 1 to 3, I'd give that a 2. It's not perfect, it's not terrible, but it's good. So 2 out of 3. Next up, gameplay. Again, pros and cons. So there were logical puzzles through the game, and a lot of it was just, for example, on the cliff face, it was traversing around the cliff face as logically as you could. On the balcony at the apartment in Paris, it was shove a somewhat oversized bird feeder, bird bath, which seemed to take up the entire balcony. Shove that around to use that to climb. Back to that previous point I made about design, a very big bird bath on a very small balcony. Very odd design choice, but it worked for the puzzle. The interface, the user interface, was really friendly, I thought. There's lots of visual prompts to sort of help you along. I think when you've come from playing the first 2 games, which are point and click, so it was all click here, click that, and it would tell you what you're doing automatically. With this game, we obviously had multiple choices. So square to climb up something, but circle to climb down. I thought that was really good. The puzzles could be challenging, even if they were somewhat straightforward. So it took me far too long to work out or to realise that I needed to check inside the wig for a blonde hair. To realise, so that Nico worked out that she wasn't looking for her doppelganger, she was looking for someone else. But that was probably more my failing than theirs, but proves the point that the puzzle was good and a bit challenging, which is what we want. The game adapted well to its new formula, I thought. It still feels like a point and click game to me, because although you're doing the walking around part manually, you're still walking up to something and clicking, and I think that works quite well, really well in fact. So I'm quite pleased with that. I think although the decision to move away from point and click was perhaps contentious, I think it was well worth it. Cons. This is more to do with the era that the game comes out or came out in. There's no tutorial at all to help players learn the controls, but that was sort of the norm at the time. In the olden days, kids, you weren't told how to do things, you had to work it out, and that was part of the joy of it. And sort of speaking to your friends about how they played the game. So it was great learning that way, but looking back with modern eyes, the lack of tutorial might put some people off. Cons. Now, I did talk about this briefly, I think it was in the channel update. The long load times. In fact, the load times for this game is why I chose to edit load screens out of every game we're going to cover. On average, the load screens in this were 30 seconds. The longest one I clocked was 55. So I had to edit out quite a lot of load screens. But that didn't really detract from the gaming experience, but it does kind of put a break where you perhaps don't want one when you're sort of really getting comfortable and settled into the game. So again, I'd give that a 2 out of 3 score. Again, not perfect, but nowhere near bad enough for a lower score. Point the third was gimmicks. So what can we list as being gimmicks for this game? Well, 3D adventure format to play as both George and Nico, which is something that really carried on from the previous games. Action-based quick time events without warning. Again, it's another trait from the previous games, whereby you'd be watching a cutscene and all of a sudden you'd have the ability to interact with the game. And in this one you probably saw me get shot a few times with Nico because I hadn't spotted the prompt telling me I could thwack the assailant with a frying pan and then the fridge door. So, do any of the gimmicks fail? And I don't really think there are any gimmicks. I don't think there was anything there other than the move from 2D to 3D that is really a gimmick, because everything else sort of carries over from it's a series trait. So I'm going to say there's no gimmicks to speak of, and therefore they couldn't fail. So I'm going to give them a 2 there. I think 1 would be too few, because I don't think we should punish the game for not having enough gimmicks. But equally I can't give them 3 because they haven't really offered us a gimmick. The only gimmick, so to speak, is the switch from 2D to 3D. So I think 2 out of 3 is fair for this. Next up is goodliness. So the game is or has, and in this case is, the game is well paced. I think it tells itself very nicely. Having played this game last maybe 20 years ago, not shy of 20 years ago really, I do sort of remember quite a lot of it. So it was probably easier for me to get into the groove of the game. The story is very intriguing. I think the story is, as always with Charles Cecil games, the story is really well told. There is no overwhelming sense of urgency. With the exception of being shot in the face in the kitchen of Vernon's apartment, they were the only sense of urgency that I had where I needed to react, but that was probably more my failing than the game's. That I didn't realise I needed to be acting with urgency. But generally, on the whole, there was no sense of urgency. So you can take your time and you can really learn and listen to the characters you interact with. It's really good. The puzzles are well thought out. That might be a little bit on the shallow side because I may or may not have already pointed out that there was a fairly gigantic bird bath which happened to be flat on a very small balcony on the second or top floor of an apartment building in Paris. But physics aside, the puzzle was well thought out. It was just a means to an end, something to climb up on to get up onto the guttering in order to shuffle along to get into the apartment. It was a simple puzzle, it was well thought out. All the puzzles are well thought out. There's no denying that. There was a lovely nod to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars in Vernon's apartment. There's a poster in his bedroom on the wall by the bookcase, I think it is. I'm not looking at any images of the game at the minute, so this is from memory. But it was a nice little thing, and I'm just surprised that Nico didn't mention the first game as a result, but there you go. The game does have some very good humour. It's very dry, it's very tongue-in-cheek, it's very British. And I suppose that's what we should remember, is it is a British game. And the Broken Sword series is, off the top of my head, probably the last of the great British adventure games. And it is still amazing, and the humour is very good. I strongly approve. This game does feel exactly like the first 2 games. It does. The voice actors are the same, the stylings are the same, the puzzles feel the same, or feel similar I should say, but at the same time it feels completely different because you have to interact with the world by walking your character around. I think it does a really good job there. And I think of the goodliness, I think we have to give it a 3. There's enough goodliness to go around to give it 3. There's not an awful lot of bad I can sort of say about the game, so I think 3 is fair. Next up is glitches. Well, I didn't notice any glitches, even on the watch through whilst editing out the load screens. I didn't notice any real glitches, graphical or otherwise. So 3, that's it, end of that. Next we are looking at the Golden Mean. So this game is a sequel that doesn't try to emulate its older siblings. It's not trying to copy them down to the letter. It's unafraid to mooch into the uncharted waters of 3D adventuring, and rightfully so. They made a bold decision and it worked. Despite the long load times, the game does work really well. As I said in the previous slide, there are no glitches that I noticed, so it all flows really well. The cinematics are lovely, lovely to watch, wonderfully rendered and designed. They can be slightly jerky at times, but I'm not sure if that is a hardware issue at my end or not, if I'm honest. So I'm going to give this one a 2. And I know that sounds unfair since I gave it 3 last time, but I don't think the Golden Mean of this game, because it's a sequel, because it's not really truly breaking new ground, I don't think it deserves the 3. This is certainly pushing a franchise forward in the right direction, but it's not quite shattering the earth, so it's a 2. Finally, Gratification. We could break this down quite a lot, I think. Is the game enjoyable? Yes, I enjoyed it. Would I continue playing? Yes, I think I would. Does the game have a good narrative? Yes, I think it does. 3. That's nice and easy, wasn't it? Dead easy. Now we can top these scores up. So graphics 2, gameplay 2, gimmicks 2, goodliness 3, glitches 3, Golden Mean 2 and Gratification 3. So that's 17 out of 21. So that is a really good result, I think, for this game. I've enjoyed playing it, and I think I'd like to carry on playing it. I'd like to know where the game goes. It's been a long time. Maybe we need to create some sort of leaderboard for these, but let's get some more games done first. So after scoring 17 out of 21, it would be hard for me not to recommend this game to anybody. This is a really good game. It's an oldie but a goodie. It works well, it plays well, it looks good, it's written well. What's not to like? So I really do encourage you all to pick it up, pick up a copy, have a go. It's available on GOG.com and Steam and lots of places, I imagine. So I do recommend it. I recommend you play it. And maybe you guys should tell me how you found this first hour of the game. I'd like to know. Let's tackle next. Would you like to see me continue the game we've just reviewed? Or would you like to see me try something different? What games would you like to see us tackle next? Leave your suggestions in the comments here on YouTube, or send us a message on social media. On Instagram, it's at Totally Useless Playthroughs. On Twitter, it's at TotallyUsles12. And I look forward to hearing from you there. So thank you very much for watching. This is the first hour review series here on YouTube for Totally Useless Playthroughs. Be well, toppers, play safe, and I will see you next time.